Welcome back to Just Start. I'm on with Last Real Flip. Welcome to SOLOPOD5. This is episode 8. First thing I want to say, just to get out of the way, I'm rooting for OKC tonight. We're playing the Pacers. Thunder up, baby. I'm repping OKC right now. Wearing my OKC Dodgers shirt. Um, yeah, so shout out them. Today we're also on the Solopod. Solopod. This is the first time we're sitting down. I'm trying to figure out how to better kind of accommodate my room for when I'm doing these solo pods, and I guess this podcast in general because there's been like a lack of space in here. So we're gonna try sitting down today. We're gonna see how this goes. And if you guys don't like it, if I'm too close, let me know. But this is where we're at today. Last solo pod episode that I did was released 2 weeks ago. I said there's going to be a portfolio updated on my website, and I still very much plan to have that up by tomorrow. I don't have a good time frame for when exactly that's going to be, but it'll be up at some point tomorrow. I'm waiting on some last couple things I need to finalize whenever I'm doing these updating portfolio. I want them to be more professional looking, and I really want them to be like, something I can like be proud of and say, hey, like, I'm doing this and this is so, yeah, tomorrow, the sixth, before midnight at some point, and I'll probably be grinding. I've got a long drive to make tomorrow as well. So, we'll see. We'll see what time it goes up exactly, but tomorrow. Anyway, I wanted these things to look good first and foremost because kind of the topic of what I'm talking about right now. I've spent some time thinking about it a little bit more, and I've had some conversations with people, and this has been like I've wanted to have like a little more of a professional thing. I don't think I could really be like a full-fledged like artist like 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 the Basquiat's and things like that, but I really plan to be like someone who's like good and professional and delivering something that I'm really proud of. And I'm really like, I really enjoy design in general, as a concept, as a verb, and everything. So the main things I really want to talk about here was UX and UI today. I think these are kind of two fields that are kind of interconnected a little bit, but still have their own kind of um, different overlapping sections where we're looking at Venn diagrams. Like they share a little bit, but also they're two different things. UX stands for user experience, and UI stands for user interface. And they're kind of sometimes used interchangeably, but except they can be very different. Both of these things have been very interesting to me since I've kind of decided to look more into graphic design as a career. I think they're like very provocative words. We're looking at companies who are doing people who are doing things. When it comes to everything, you need, especially when it comes to apps and websites, you're looking for people who know how to make like create a great customer journey throughout the whole thing through and through. Whenever you're looking for people to buy your stuff, or you're looking for people who want to use your stuff, or things you have and you want to share with the world, you can have a great idea, but if you don't know how to sell it to people, if you don't know how to, let people play with the toy, then you can't really expect people to really use what you want them to use or whatever. And whether your goal is to, increase clients, or you want to, increase, your influentialness or your influence on things or situations or whatever. So I think these two things are very interesting, and I think that people who were able to design these systems are really interesting and really, important people. I mean, they've designed a lot of, like the things that we use on a daily basis, like from smartphones to televisions to everything. And that I think that's the biggest kind of thing that comes with this is like there are, terms UX and UI, which mean user experience and user interface, but UX carries a lot of different connotations, across a lot of different fields. For example, like, just the general definition, people might have different, definitions of what UX means. They can give you user experience, but they might mean something completely different beyond that. We're talking about careers that look different based on someone's interpretation of what UX means. We're looking at different experiences, different systems, different products. I mean, different like packaging based on what someone's definition of what a UX, thing is, or what a UX designer does. So kind of narrowing down that definition of what UX means to me has been like really important because, like I said, this is something I've been looking more into and like more means of a viable career for myself since I've been like wanting to make this shift down this path. So, why do I think this is so important? Because even in the grand scheme of things, even beyond everything else, like I have these own personal projects that I want to make in my own head. And it's going to take a lot of different work, a lot of work kind of figuring out a lot of different like coding stuff, which, there's a lot of different tools for that now. But, there's going to be like a lot of design work that I'm like working through. There's a lot of, and once I get the more funding, whether it's like self-funding or, getting, an investor to kind of, lend me the money to get this thing off the ground, UX is going to be one part of that puzzle at the end of the day. Like I said, I'm mainly considering making these ideas for myself, but beyond that, whether my idea is just like a blueprint or a prototype, I want UX is going to be part of the puzzle. If and when people decide like they want, they want to try it, and hopefully I want to design things that people want to make or people want to have and people want to use. So it's going to be part of the puzzle, regardless. Last episode we were on here, I was starting to run short on time, and I really didn't get this out. But one thing is that I was certain that I wanted to talk about was Mischief, MSCHF. I will throw their link here somewhere. You can take a look at their stuff. It's really, really cool. I really enjoy them, and I think this fits perfectly in line with what I'm talking about with UX in terms of like there being a lot of different like avenues to go down UX. So yeah, I guess another thing I guess I hadn't mentioned yet is like there's a lot of different avenues to go down this thing. Like it's a whole different world. We could talk about, user experience. We're talking about the website. We're talking about the user experience when it comes to like how customers look at the product, how they interact with the product, everything like that. So looking at this just a little bit further, for those of you who don't know what MSCHF is, they're an art group, an art collective that secured funding as a collective group using corporate strategies to build a foundation where they can build whatever they want. It's really inspirational whenever you're looking at people who are creators, people who really want to do their own thing. I wouldn't say that everyone's looking at this thing. I can't really speak for everybody else, but whenever I'm looking at this thing, I get really inspired. I think about people who are, who doesn't want to build their own things, who doesn't want to like kind of be working with other people who are equally, if not even more talented, and be part of this kind of group where they're making their own things. Um, and yeah, so you've probably seen one of the things that they went really viral, like really mega viral for, and I'll throw it up on the picture on the screen now, were their huge the Mischief boots, the Mischief red boots. I mean, they kind of made a huge kind of thing here. So yeah, so we're gonna look at this website over here. I'll pull it up right here. So we're looking at Mischief. First things first. I mean, we're looking at the UX of this website. I mean, this or just like kind of the layout of the website in general, which is something I'm really interested in. This is really really clean. I really enjoy this. I mean, we're looking at just the countdown, count up, and so what happens here is these guys make a new drop every so often. What they'll do is they'll kind of come together as a collective and decide what they want to do, and they'll put like a lot of resources and people and manpower towards these things. So yeah, I mean, just to bring up a few things, I guess let's just look up a few of these things I have. So this is the most recent drop what they're doing with the AMG, and it's really cool. They have a collection with Mercedes and their AMG collection, and they kind of built some different stuff. I don't really know what half the stuff is. It's a seatbelt light. Sure. Sure, why not? They've got some sort of like couches here, hangers, some really cool stuff. This one's really cool. I think it's really cool. Our cow Angus. It's very interesting. So we're looking at, so I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. We bought a cow. What happens is they're selling these pre-orders, and if they are able to have people kind of cancel their pre-orders, I mean, they'll like uh, they have 281 days for like close to 50% of people to sell the pre-orders. So what you do, you buy these pre-orders, and then if you sell them, then you'll be able to save the cow Angus, which is a very like artistic thing. I mean, this is fucking crazy. I don't know. Um, what else? There was like the tax one I wanted to show you guys. Tax Heaven 3000, and they've developed here a game where you can sign up and play a game, like a dating kind of game or whatever, and it'll help you do your taxes based on the 2022 taxes. It's just wild. It's just wild. We could even go here. This is kind of pretty popular thing that they did. This is like a brick of like not generated asset from a video game money kind of thing. It's just kind of what it is. Yeah. When we look at the whole thing as in general, like like the packaging of everything, the website, how they're the way they interact with their fans is really interesting. Everything about it makes me really interested in like what their story is and what they're talking about and everything about this. So like, I'm invested in what they're saying. Um, and the question is, how did they get there? Like a lot of what's the journey that a client takes throughout their entire thing, or not a client, a customer, I guess in our case. Something like I want to do. Like I think that this is like one part of their kind of puzzle. It's not it's not everything, obviously. There are people who are still doing the thing, and that's something I also really want to do. But you need some kind of understanding if you want people to be like invest in your products. I think this collective group has done everything right. So I mean, what can we really learn from Mischief? I think the most probably more important part here is having a really good foundation to your movements, but having fun with it, honestly. Because if you do all this stuff and you really just become like very rigid, you probably don't have the freedom to do or try things out that you really want to try. So make sure you go all in and find backing and make sure that to make it worth their while. So I mean, check out Mischief. I mean, maybe you'll find some of the stuff interesting. Maybe you'll think this stuff is really cool. There's a lot of other cool things, but I mean, I just wanted to give you one kind of example to look at right then and there. Transitioning a little bit more to a different kind of topic, kind of related, Figma and UX and AI, I guess I should say. Kind of three different kind of Figma, UX, AI. What is Figma? Figma is like a tool where you can kind of learn to design for UX, I guess. There's a lot of different people I follow on all over Twitter, all over, Instagram, people I look at their work and like, wow, this is really interesting. How do you even do this? Just getting into the game, UX game for sure. And Figma seemed like a really good first step with everything UX related. The idea was build up a framework or wireframe, and then use that to build the code from there, um, so that I can kind of test some ideas and products. With the advancing speed of AI, it seems sooner rather than later that it's definitely going to be possible to plug this into an LLM and generate a prompt, and then from there have an AI build your entire website app. In fact, this is like largely happening right now. We're looking well when I say these things when I'm talking about what people colloquially call it. It's called like vibe coding. We're using platforms like Claude to do this. Like I said, I'm just getting into this and kind of really understanding the first kind of the intricacies and the details of this, but the extent of the extent and accuracy of vibe coding is seeming to get more and more accurate as days go by. I mean, that's just machine learning. But I have not yet fully dived into this world. So I'm looking into this as we speak, and I really plan to use cloud to like really develop some really cool ideas, at least for myself, and see how that goes. Um, in any case, right? I need to know the fundamentals of Figma because I see like a lot of UX, a lot of principal designers using this kind of platform as a foundation. I see people getting, being able to like, design cool things and get things to work. The thing is really important with this. It's really just like a design tool. It'll help you kind of visualize uh, like journeys. And the coolest thing about this, I'll show you one second. So, I mean, this is very, very like basic bones here, but I mean, what we're looking at is this kind of, I've been following some tutorials and stuff and trying to figure out basically like how to move within this system, and I feel like I've like learned a little bit more and more. And there's some really cool stuff you can do with Figma that I'm like really finding is really cool. I mean, you can kind of shuffle things around. without it being a whole kind of process and stuff like that. You can like lower and make these things bigger or smaller, make it more evenly distributed and everything like that. But the main thing, the coolest thing about Figma, is that you can use it to prototype. And so I've kind of done some things here, and what we're using this for is I've made like kind of a workflow for this thing. This is what it's supposed to look like if within a web browser on a phone. This is like the logo, I guess, is kind of like the menu kind of button or whatever. It should be a picture, text, whatever, button, link to next thing, and then we kind of have some different options of whatever. I'll link the tutorial I've been using to learn this really fast. It's nothing crazy, but I mean, it's really cool. It's really cool, like, first kind of introductory free video that I could learn. So yeah, I mean, so like the coolest thing about this thing is that you don't just mock it up. You don't just kind of show it like, hey, this is what I want to build, and you don't show, and then you would show this, I guess, this part to your coders, your developers, maybe now an AI kind of backend program or whatever, or kind of an AI coding kind of program that would help you kind of figure things out a little bit more, and then maybe turn this into a developer or somebody who knows what they're doing, and end up getting like a cool, and figuring things out even better. But what you could do is you could just show them this, right? And just, yeah, okay, this is what I want to do. Picture here, button here, this whatever, yada yada. But cool thing about Figma, it works. Like you can kind of cool things, here. I mean, I don't have like a field where you could put in your email, but imagine put your email, you show like, hey, this is what I want it to be, and then submit. What do you, and then shows you this, and then kind of workflow like what this would do exactly. Here, this button would take you back. You can kind of change with all like the flow of everything like that, right? And it's really really cool. I really enjoy messing with it. I've like I said, I've followed a bunch of creators, a lot of uh, people who are actually doing this, and they have some really cool ideas. There's some really cool ideas. There's a lot of cool things out there to do. I want to. I'm just learning I'm really looking to learn the fundamentals of this thing and get a better understanding of what to be looking for and how to build my own ideas. And I think the next kind of thing would be kind of building my own idea, and that's what I mean. I'm gonna like. I don't think it's gonna be what's on my portfolio per se, but what I will do is definitely have some sort of like links to something or something. Yeah, we'll see exactly what it's gonna look like. So, like I said, this is a great kind of way to just show like anybody who's really going to actually build the idea, right? What you need, um, but without this, right? If you're looking at just building a like an app through Cloud or Claude and just kind of typing it in there, like, hey, this is what I want, this is what I want, doesn't know what you want it to look like per se. Here, you can actually give an idea, or you can give a real person idea, someone who knows what they're doing, and you can build it like a lot better. Um, like I said previously, I've used ChatGPT to learn some Blender, and it was very useful to have ChatGPT, but like typing out what I was looking at my situation was a lot more difficult without the screenshots, without being able to show like what exactly I wanted to do with it. Having a layout is going to get you closer, faster to the outcome you're looking for. As I talked about last episode, or a few episodes ago, I guess, it didn't seem that we're going to be likely to separate ourselves from AI entirely. And those that will likely fail, except for some extreme outliers, especially when we're talking about UX and UI in general. There are a lot of good resources out there to read, and which I plan on reading once I get through my current resources right now. Um, so, I mean, I'm just trying to integrate. I'm just trying to integrate and break in. And I was, been doing a lot of resource like reading and watching videos and stuff, and I'm gonna need this because otherwise they're just not gonna let me in. So in the case of learning UX and UI, I really have a lot to learn. I have a few books that I really want to read soon once I get done with my current books. Like I said, I'm about a few. I'll probably get. I mean, uh, I have a few more things to get through, I guess, right now. But that will be. I have my next book in mind, um, and we'll be looking into it soon. Uh, Finding out how to balance my time, waking up early, um, waking up early, going to work, getting back, and trying to do something that time. I'm feeling good about running now. My legs are feeling back better. My leg is feeling better. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. I'm really tired. I'm really exhausted. Um, but I mean, what else is there to do? You know, what else is there to do? Um, I also feel like I've been catching myself saying a lot, and so hopefully the editing on this episode is going to be reflective of that. There'll be maybe a lot of sporadic cutting, but still a lot to do. Still a lot to do. I'm gonna throw this in the Premiere thing really fast and see how many minutes I got, how many more minutes I have left that I need to talk. We'll see. Be right back. Okay, so first thing that I really noticed was that I need to cut down on the ums that I'm saying. Um, Thank you guys for checking this out. Thank you for to me for making this video. A lot to do for sure. There's Tomorrow's gonna be a very busy day, and yeah, like I said, there is a lot to learn with Figma, a lot to learn with Cloud, and how to get beyond what I'm doing right now, and how to actually get to a point where it's marketable. So, but I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. At the end of the day, just start, just get it done. Just get the first iteration out there, first version of it, and then iterate. A lot of There's just too much to do to sit around and think about how to get started. So, uh, if you're looking at this thing and you're wondering how do I get it started, where do I even begin? I think the best place is just to just start. Shout out the Thunder and have a great rest of your week.